What is up, everyone? Big exciting day. Today is the day we were anticipating. New shop equipment is coming today. It's a big deal, very excited. Now we kind of hyped it up a lot in the last video because we were prepping for it, but today's the day it officially shows up. We talked about in the last video, that's why we kind of pulled everything out to make room for all the new stuff. Very exciting. Now it's nothing crazy over the top, but it's something I'm very excited for. And our goal for this video was to get it, set it all up, move all the cars around, finalize the shop, boom, big video, exciting stuff. But life happens, and unfortunately, the shipment got delayed. 'Tis the season. So unfortunately today we will only be receiving it, but you guys will get to see what we got going on. In the next video we'll get it all set up and whatever. Don't mean to make stuff drag on, but life happens. So for today, in the beginning of the day, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get to work on some things that we have in the pipeline. Oh, it's so damn cold. As you guys know, last week we pulled out my mystery $200 SR20. We took it all apart because we are going to get it fully built. So I'm gonna use the time that we have today to go up to Garage S0 and link up with our boy JP to check out our used engine. Because as you guys saw, as we took it apart, we found a lot of not so good things about it. And so instead of just assuming everything's fixable, we got the whole ass engine back here. So we're gonna bring it to JP and he's gonna tell us exactly what we all need to look for when it comes out to buying a used engine and to making sure that our parts are good enough to use for a rebuild. Garage S0. Oh God, Tommy, fire driveway. Garage S0. Now the big exciting thing is the machine shop. That's what I'm stoked for, and that's where we're visiting today. What the f?
I thought your office was bad.
My office was bad. This is just a corner of it. If you're doing cool shit, you need cool stuff, and it's definitely cool stuff. Brand new GTR for fenders. This is fun. So it's more. Go. This room is sick. Just love being around this, like built short blocks. I hope we'll get any dude excited. Like just like sick machinery and like built engines.
Digging holes.
It's like digging holes, dude. It's like seeing a good excavator. You know, a good bucket skid loader, like hell yeah. It's true though. Come on, you have a skid steer literally so you can.
I have an excavator as well.
Exactly. It's a hell yeah ass thing.
When you could do anything with it and still do nothing and have the time of your life and feel accomplished, but you're doing
But I'm saying this is in the same energy. Just speed around a built short block and stuff.
My problem is I see it, I'm like because these are now, I'll say this, these are extra. These aren't customers. We're all caught up on our customer stuff. So these are like for sale or like ready to be. They're all 287 for that one. So I'm like,
should we RV something else?
dude, I look at it and I'm like, what car should I buy? You know, like, oh, this needs a car, that needs a car, that needs a car.
The world famous JP S14. You guys have seen him on the channel many times. So JP has always been my engine guy. He's built quite a reputation for himself. You've honed the skills.
Thanks to you guys too. Like thanks to Jimmy, you know, he's supported us since we started this. So it's pretty crazy that here we are, you know, after 5+ years.
That's why I get so excited just knowing how much is coming from this and coming out of this is so cool. So of course we got a mystery SR. You know, anything savable with amount of work, right? Mm-hmm. We want to make sure it's not too much work.
Yeah.
So I brought the head, the crank, the block, everything for you to check out to give me the go ahead to say everything's good. If not, we have other engines we could take from.
Okay.
But I think it'd be a good learning experience for everyone to see what to look out for when buying a used engine, buying used components, and just seeing if what you have is good enough.
Absolutely. And be ready for the machine shop too, because you don't want to bring just a bunch of crap, you know, and then we're like, oh, you need a whole new block, you need a whole new head. So
that is true.
You always want to inspect everything and bring everything so we can just get to work right away without issues.
Let's get the parts. The funny thing is the crank weighs more than anything. Watch how light the block is. The block, it's like
that's kind of wild.
And then the crank is like, What do you want to look at first?
Let's look at the block. The block's always the biggest determining factor of labor. Boy. I'm already looking at things and I'm like, oh man.
So I told you, it looks like someone took a flapper disc and just went like this to the block.
Oh, they sure did, yeah.
So I'm just worried. I don't know how much material you could actually remove physically from the block without it actually being an issue.
Gotcha. I mean, considering that we can still see the stampings from the OEM, that means that we're pretty good. This looks pretty good. I would be concerned about the threads on the head studs because I did watch your video and it looked a little scary.
They were a little bad. Yeah.
Fine.
Knock on wood, we're fine. We'll test those out for now. Let's hope that they're good.
Okay, I guess
We'll
next
cross
from
that road.
here, you would check for cracks, the big obvious stuff, right?
Yeah.
Which
Any detonation on the top of the deck, obviously. If there's any sort of detonation on here, we're gonna want to do sleeves because at that point you compromise the block. So that's why the first thing you should look at is the deck of the block where it meets to the sleeves.
Yeah, because you guys know we talk about detonation all the time, right? And you'll see little like pings and like little pinholes and pistons from detonation over time. But you got to remember, not only the pistons can get damaged, but the head and the block can get damaged. And especially if you have like a partially failing head gasket, it'll accelerate that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And so your pistons will get ruined, but you'll also get like these wear marks on the edge of your cylinder walls and even inside the head, which could be really, really damaging. So surprisingly, it doesn't look detonated at all, which is huge.
This looks like a good block.
I'd like to retain stock sleeves, right? Because since it's an aluminum block, it has sleeves that are inserted in them because where the pistons is actually needs to be steel. So stock sleeves are pretty thin and they're old.
I mean, they are, but I mean, for my own experience, I've done fine with 87 mil, so I think you'll be fine up to whatever horsepower that you're shooting. We're gonna rectify the sleeves, obviously, because these have just been 30 years, if not more, than just abuse, and eventually they wear out, you know, they kind of barrel themselves.
So
from
do
the
we have
wear.
a tool to measure that?
Yeah, we have a bore gauges, and then we'll put it in the hone and actually straighten out the sleeves when we do the boring hone, so
Okay, perfect.
it'll be good.
Since we are utilizing factory sleeves, gotta make sure the sleeves are good.
Yes.
Right, so
Yep.
there could be gouges in them, there could be cracks in them, and there could be
Oversized if there's already been machine work done and you buy the right what you think is stock size pistons and then it was already oversized, and we've come into that.
Can we measure this right now? Because I already ordered pistons.
Yeah, we can set up a board gauge for it.
Okay,
so.
let's go do that. I should put it like this.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Cool. Get a good before and after. I didn't know we could do this today. I'm actually really excited.
30.
It's good shit. It's like when you're standing in front of the microwave waiting for your food to get done. Oh man. Wow, it really like gets in there, huh?
Yeah, that's super strong.
For the block to clean up so we can get a really good inspection on it, we're gonna check out the crank because it's the next piece that we have going on. So I can assume the first thing we're gonna look at is just the condition of the crank itself.
Obviously, yeah, visual is the biggest thing. You can see a lot. The biggest tool that you have is your fingernail. If you run your fingernail across it and you catch anything, that's bad news. Obviously, just run your finger through that and
I got small nails, JP.
they'll work, they'll work.
Feels good to me.
Yeah, that visually looks great. We just gotta actually mic it up, which is using the micrometers, make sure everything's to the standard size, and obviously make sure that it's not bent. So that's why we got it on this V-block, so that we can put an indicator on here, spin it up, and then figure out how much run out it's got, because usually crankshaft tends to banana out like this. So
Okay, that makes sense.
you wanna have a certain amount of tolerance before it's bad enough not to run. Now we're just gonna zero out on the crankshaft and just spin it, just to make sure it doesn't have too much run out.
How much are we allowed?
Up to 1.5 thou. I like to stay, so that's within the ear. I mean, the table's a little jiggly. I would say 1 thou, a little bit over 1 thou, which is great, standard. These crankshafts are short enough that they don't usually bend, but we always like to check every single one just because you never know.
All right, we're doing good so far, boys. We're doing good. All right, so now we have to measure right here to make sure our bearings will be within standard size. If they aren't, we can order bigger bearings, but we got to know now before I spend any more money. So, spec sheet, let's measure it up. Now, since you don't see like a lot of visible wear on it, would that be like a mild indication, or will there be a lot of wear on these from just high miles that you wouldn't really notice?
Yeah, so that's kind of what we're looking for right now. So since visually it looks fine, there was no rod knock. Now we're worried about possibly too many miles having wear on the journals. So like in that case, we would need oversized bearings, or we need a new crankshaft if the journal is too small. What we're doing now is measuring the journal bearings, the journals of the crankshaft, to make sure we are within that range. This would be within 2.1636 and 2.164. So we're actually on the bigger side, which is good.
No, that's awesome.
Got plenty of meat on that thing. So,
Which is so surprising just looking at this damn engine, right? Like,
yeah, because this thing could have 200,000 miles, who knows? And then, you know, you never expect the crankshaft to not wear, and then usually most of the time these crankshafts are pretty good. Yeah. So this is the first wash. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be better than.
yeah.
Open it up.
Get all the stank off. All right, that was in there for only like 5 minutes. I think we should put it in for a little longer.
Yeah. That gets the main grease and grime out, so we can at least see if there's any
so much better.
cracks or any major damage. So this is like the first stage just to get things better to look
Look
at.
at this. This is crazy. So this was bead blasted and vapor honed. This is the same block. Look how it looks like it's spray painted silver. That's insane. No.
That's what we're gonna end up with. So.
Yeah, right over that creek.
Yeah, we'll make it look that good, and the hatchet.
Oh my god, the transformation of this engine is gonna be so silly. So the last thing we want to check out the block is the actual cylinders themselves. So we want to make sure that our sleeves aren't heavily damaged, right? We want to make sure we don't have any crazy scoring. Some stuff that we can really feel with our nail. We want to make sure there's no imperfections, no detonation. And luckily for us, there's no vertical scoring, which is great. There's no detonation on the block. There's a little bit of surface rust, but we are gonna go oversized with the piston, as you should, just a little bit, you know, with a rebuild, because the shape of the cylinder will get distorted a little bit over time. But if you look at this over here, this is not what we want to see. Do you see all those vertical lines? So this dude probably broke a piston, and the pieces of the piston were just scratching the walls as it went up and down. And then you have blocks like this, where it's hard to tell on camera, but there's just a straight dent in here. So it's like almost like a piston sat there and corroded over a really long time and ate into the walls. So what's good about that, you could always re-sleeve your engine. So don't throw away your block just yet. It just might get a little pricier for you. So we want to check the bore size initially, because we want to make sure that this wasn't already bored over, right? So factory, they're 86 millimeter. If someone was to rebuild the engine, they'd probably go to 86 and a half if the cylinder walls aren't bad. And we just want to make sure they're still factory. A quick garage measurement, you can see it's pretty locked in on 86 millimeters, which is great. So this thing has not been machined yet.
So that's close enough for most people, but you know, we actually have the real bore gauge.
That must be nice.
So you can see like we're actually 2 thou over, almost 2.5 over original bore size.
Okay, so that's 2 thou over 86.
Yeah, so from the factory, like you can measure all the way at the bottom here.
Mm-hmm.
You can see, if you look in here, you can see where like nothing really touches.
Yeah, you see where it's clean down there?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. And so the rest,
you gotta think the rings are what wears it, right?
yeah, because it's just metal running on metal its whole life. So with this, we could also measure how distorted the cylinders are, right?
Yeah, so if we go the other way now, right? So so we have 1 thou, and we have a little over 2 thou there.
Oh.
So you got 1 thou.
So it's basically, so the cylinder is actually ovalized right now.
We're gonna make it straight with the CNC.
Perfect. Block is in spec, which is great. So it looks like our block is good to go, our crank is good to go, so our bottom end is ready for machine work. But the next and the scariest part of all is going to be the head. The first visual inspection is going to be the cam caps itself, right? The caps that actually seat and hold the cams in place. On the head side, I think these look pretty damn good, but from a professional opinion,
They're not terrible. I mean, they're not the worst thing in the world.
I'll take it. What is this expensive rod?
So it's just like a true bar, so like it's perfect, like all the way across. That's why we leave it in its nice fancy case, and then we don't.
So if I drop this,
Yeah, you drop that, you owe us another one. So it's just all good. Really, we're just looking for the gap. There ain't really nothing.
So this could show if the head was warped, right? So if like extreme
so
heat
we'll
conditions
check,
and stuff.
So we're gonna check this side and we're gonna check the other side, just to make sure that they're both communicating properly. You could feel it, you know, just so you get a.
Oh yeah, you could feel it touching like uniformly overall. And since this is perfectly straight, it helps us verify that the head is actually straight, because if you overheat these things really bad, or any engine, the heads could actually warp. Your Harbor Freight breaker bar, it'd probably be perfectly straight. Just put it in there. We use a feeler gauge to just guarantee there's no gaps there. All nice and snug. I'll take it. Really small tolerance too.
It's 1.5 thou feeler gauge, so that's about our tolerance. If it goes in, we know we got a little bit of an issue. But we got our fancy oven, we can fix it.
As soon as you said that, it went in.
No, don't trick yourself, because you got to hold that shit down.
Okay, we're good. I was just holding the wrong spot. All right. I got scared for a second. That's nice. Use 2 hands.
I was like, mother.
So far, so good, but wait till you see the bottom of this thing.
Oof.
I was waiting for
That's
that.
not too bad. clean all that shit up.
So first thing that we're lucky about is the fact that there's no detonation on the edges here, because like we said before, not only will you detonate on the piston, but your head will take abuse and you'll end up getting like grooves in here, or you'll end up burning like corners out. How concerning is that?
It's not too concerning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're good because like the valves are seated.
Yeah, they're fucking seated.
But at least they're not bent. You know, we don't have any extra protrusion. You know, like they're pretty good. We don't have any oxidization. We're looking pretty good before we take it apart. Visually, we're good.
Okay. This is so much nicer with good tools. Like, oh, those are fucking.
Damn, even that one's bad.
Look how gross it is.
Yeah, so that's not even the bad one yet.
Holy shit. Actually, we're probably cleaning up pretty good.
God.
Now the guy's loose.
Oh my goodness. So say these weren't crusty and nasty.
They're actually not that bad.
They're not that bad, right?
So like this is what we're looking for right here, right? So the angle's not too bad. I mean, it's probably because it was sealed.
That's true. But you'll get a lot of like pitting and corrosion on this, won't you, if it sits for a long time open?
Yeah, and that's what we were looking for.
Okay, so you see how it's nice and smooth. You can feel how smooth it is, but like this edge is a little rusty, but you'll get pitting and corrosion and it won't create a good seal, because obviously this angle right here sitting on the head is what actually seals the cylinder. When we're checking plane guides, what you want to be close to it, right? Somewhat up in there.
Make sure don't have the seal on it, so you want to be right outside the seal, because the seal's gonna give it a little bit extra.
Okay, so
be right outside the seal, at least for just a rough check right now.
So this seems nice and tight, right? So like we can almost say that's probably a good guide. So like, when does too much play, like we're gonna pull it out for just exaggeration, but like say it had like that much play.
Yeah, that's not gonna fly. Because what it's gonna do is now when it's spinning, because you gotta think the valve train spins in there, it's gonna hit not 100% all the way around on the seat.
True.
So that's what we gotta be worried about.
Yep, okay. Oh, what was that? What was that?
I was gonna say, the engine's actually nicer than I thought it was gonna be.
Dude, it's deceiving because it looked so bad, but it's actually checking out to be a pretty solid engine.
Maybe the rust is helping a little bit, but.
JP, I need a final seal of approval. Don't give me that. Yeah, there we go. So it's actually, as bad as it all looked, it actually ended up being a half decent starting platform. We were trying to find something wrong with it to like show you guys like a bad thing, but besides it just being gross,
It actually checked out.
It checked out, so.
It's always not as bad as it looks, obviously. But that was the case with this one.
Yeah, in this case, we got lucky this time.
In this case.
In this case. So, $200 SR, score. All right, so we got a clean bill of health to the boys down at Garage S0. So as soon as the custom pistons show up, we could do our full engine build, which I'm really pumped about. Like, I'm really excited to document an entire engine building process. I feel like a lot of guys don't get to do that, but we'll have some fun. But for now, the big moment is finally here. Our new shop equipment is here. Nothing crazy, but it is gonna be the stuff that's gonna finalize us for our, I guess, beginning of the year refresh. So the only thing that's really, really bad is, well,
Go ahead and tell him, Jim.
my dates got messed up here and I didn't rent a forklift. So we have some big equipment that we gotta figure out how to get off this trailer.
How the hell are we gonna do this?
I feel bad this driver's gonna hate me. We're gonna figure it out. If there's a will, there's a way. Kai, you got this, right? You feeling strong today?
Got
Damn!
We're screwed.
Jim, I don't know if we can do this by hand.
Not strong, Jim.
I just got a text from the neighbors. We might be able to get in their warehouse and get their forklift. We're gonna see. God, I hope so, because I've been stressed for the last hour. That was a wild ride of emotions that just happened in 20 minutes. I was freaking out. And, okay, so Ant's actually forklift. Ant's forklift certified. We'll let him have this one, you know? you know, gotta let them have the winter time. Big box and little forks, dude. Going. You got a foot. Hang on. You want to drop it out over top?
Not good.
It's teetering.
Austin said it was good.
Fuck, all right. Don't take my word for it.
Go down nice and slow. I'm just watching this thing go. Phew. That's so cool. Everyone loves a big box too. This is one package that every single one of my friends is excited for.
All of us are so excited for this
Every
one.
single person is excited for this box.
This is gonna make this next season so good.
so much better.
Back it up, Terry.
Put it in reverse.
But wait, there's one more. It would have been real bad without the forklift, so thank God for the boys next door. Did it survive? God, this metal's so cold. All right, we're in the shop. I'll take it. All right, boys, so we got the last two major pieces of the puzzle to get the shop ready for the year. We talked about a big transformation, and this is one of them. I mean, we put up 4 more lifts. We took out a
There are
bath.
7 lifts in here now,
We did
which
so
is
much,
crazy.
It's ridiculous. It's so much cleaning, and there's obviously many more upgrades that we want to do. But to start the year off with this feels amazing. So, big ass box. I was tempted to hold it as like a cliffhanger, but I can't edge you guys like that. We got a new tire machine. Obviously, we have all bend pack lifts. We love bend pack products. The styling, the functionality, the quality, you can't beat it. And to have it all matching is amazing. So, I've had a Ranger tire machine for many, many years now, and this thing has been amazing to us. But this is step 1. And this was amazing when we were drifting on 16-inch tires and 225s and 215s and stuff. It was awesome. It did us good. But now we've kind of upgraded to
Larger.
tires, 265s, and well, we've upgraded past this. We are now much needed for a larger machine. So we got their top of the line model. It's bigger, it's better, it has more adjustable arms. It'll make mounting and dismounting so much easier. Now that everyone's drifting, even DJ and Ant trying to get into drifting, this is huge because this thing is tricky with the 265s. Everyone has been waiting for this. I mean, DJ has wheels right here that he hasn't touched because he knew the new tire machine was coming in. So this is huge. Just starting the season off with a new tire machine is like
Game changing.
game changer for, I mean, now that we have the Pro Car too, oh my God, like this was the greatest upgrade we could ask for. And on top of that, of course, we have another giant chunk of metal. We have a new storage lift. So we talked about a bunch of ideas that we could do with this area. And a lot of guys were upset with me that I didn't get the triple stackers. Now, we didn't go with the triple stackers for many reasons. A lot of it was technically by the sprinkler system, we're too low. We don't want to risk it. And to be honest, like, they're such a massive unit that since I don't own the building and we might potentially move in the next 2 years, I didn't want to put the triple in here because honestly I was just scared of having to disassemble and move it. Everything else in here is not too bad. So that
Yeah, but this would be a monstrosity.
a monstrosity, which they're amazing, and I wish, because if we had 2 triple stackers here, 6 cars, first that would look so freaking cool.
6 cars and 2 car spots.
It'd be
Nuts.
unreal, but unfortunately it is what it is. But so we ended up getting another 4-post lift. So we'll have 4 here, which is huge, but it'll allow us to honestly like utilize this space more, and we'll show you guys what our plan is for it. I almost wish I got 3. Like 3 deep would be so sick, 6 cars right here, but we need this little pocket area for other things, which you guys will see probably in the next video, what we do with this whole space to optimize the rest of it, because though we do have a lot of lifts and stuff in here, we do need some more usable storage space and toolage space and stuff like that, which you guys will see what we do over here. It's much needed. So the final transformation, having the 2 lifts right here is going to look amazing. Could get it all clean, get it all sorted. It feels good. I can keep saying that forever. This is so freaking cool. So we got another lift to build. Luckily these are 110, so we don't have to do any fancy wiring with them, and they use and you don't have to bolt them down technically, so that saves us a lot of headache. So we should be able to set this up tomorrow afternoon, get this thing working. Now the biggest thing we have to decide on, of course, is what cars are actually going on the lift. Like whatever cars go on the lift, like obviously they can come down pretty quickly, but like we all know whatever goes up there gets stuck up there for a few months.
Yeah.
So we're gonna decide what goes on top, what goes on bottom. So let us know in the comments what you guys think. Okay, you guys have heard me ramble on enough, but I'm excited. And then we could finally get the cars out from the center of the shop. And
Yeah, this looks insane right now.
we've been trying to get some work done, and it's been tricky. So excited to have some more bend pack goodies in here to really optimize our shop, our space, and our workflow. So for now, you guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. We'll see you guys very shortly.